Hi there, my name is Belsasar Lepe, and I am one of the founders over at Uyala. I'm also the CTO. I'm going to be answering a couple of questions for you today. Hopefully the answers can be considered insightful. So the first question, what does Uyala do? We are a business-to-business company that works with other companies like HBO or Sky Mexico in Mexico to basically create television content and deliver that television content online. So for instance, if you are going to be watching any of the World Cup matches in June of this year, 2018, on the Blue to Go service powered by Sky Mexico, that's actually being delivered by Uyala's technology stack. So there you go. That's a little bit of what we do. Next question. Which startup number is this for me? This is actually my first startup, though Uyala is an 11-year-old company now. So we're not technically a startup. We retain a lot of the original startup ideals, though. So that's a good thing. We try to act small and be small. Why did I decide to start this company? Well, I actually benefited from having two fantastic co-founders in the form of Bismarck Lepe, my brother, so I have to kind of say he's fantastic, and Sean Knapp, a very good friend from Google, which is where the three of us were before we founded this company. You know, certainly when you're founding a company, you need to make sure that you have a good idea and that you're going into a market that makes sense. But for me, what really pushed me to make that leap to be a part of this founding team was the team. You know, you need to be able to trust your team, and you need to make sure that you have a team that's going to work as hard as you do, if not push you to work harder. And that was absolutely the case with the founding team that we had. So that was, you know, really the biggest motivator for me. Next question. What was the biggest issue that we had to overcome as a business? So, you know, what you realize is that once you make it beyond your first idea, which probably only carries you through the first 1 to 2 years, you realize that it's not just about having one idea for a business. It's about being able to evolve and innovate on that idea. As an 11-year-old business, we've had to reinvent ourselves 7, 8 times and have completely new ideas around how we can deliver value to our customers. This was something that we all didn't realize well initially, but we've gotten better at it. So that ability to reinvent yourself, make that notion of innovation just a big part of how you operate, that was a challenge for us early on, but we've gotten better at it. Next question. What's the one thing that people don't tell you about being an entrepreneur? Once you get to be a business that's above, let's say, 100 people, 150 people, it varies depending upon your locations, you realize that as a founder, as a founding team, you're not going to be able to control everything. And so it's very important that you hire a great management team that embodies the values and the ideas of what you set out to create as a founder of your business. You know, I'm a firm believer that great companies attract great talent, but it's great managers that retain that talent. Ultimately, people leave managers, not companies. So, you know, that's something to keep in mind, especially as, you know, if you get to a place where you're growing beyond 200 people, make sure that you're building out that great management team. Next question. What would you do differently if you could do your first startup over again? So many things. And, you know, look, there's no silver bullet. What you're going to realize is you're going to make a lot of mistakes. It's impossible to get everything right. That's just not the nature of a startup. Startup is controlled chaos. So what I would say in response to that question is be ready to make mistakes. That's simply going to be a fact of life as a startup, but fail fast and learn from your mistakes. That's going to, in many ways, mean the difference between being a successful startup or being a startup that goes nowhere. Last question. What was the outcome of your startup? So we are an 11-year-old company. Like I mentioned, we're not a startup anymore, but I am happy to say that we had a very successful close to the chapter of our life as a company where we were a startup. And that came in the form of being acquired by a very large telecommunications company down in Australia. The company's name is Telstra. So that was a great way to close out our chapter as a startup. And, you know, we're happy now to operate as a wholly owned subsidiary of Telstra. All right, well, those are all the questions. Hopefully my answers were helpful. Hope you guys are having a good time as part of this entrepreneur program, and take care. Thanks.